Right, Craig, thank you very much for giving us time for an interview with the Quins head coach. It's been a long time since we've had competitive rugby for the Quins, but we're almost there now with the away game against Bridgend this coming Saturday. What kept you going through lockdown without rugby, and was there much work to do behind the scenes that our supporters wouldn't have seen?
It was a difficult one, not knowing how far away things were and how quick things would change. It was difficult to plan or put things in place really. But first lockdown, it was pretty much we touched base with the boys probably twice just to keep them not motivated, but to show that we're still interested, so to speak. And just to touch base to make sure that they're all okay, everything was fine and everyone was safe, and touch wood, all the boys were fine in that sense. Yeah, so the first lockdown was just a complete shut off really. Like I said, we caught up with them a couple of times, had a few chats, had a few joke nights or fun nights on Zoom, as most people are doing. But yeah, in terms of rugby wise, we tried just to switch off because it looked like things were going to be so far away that it was just don't bother essentially with rugby, and just more about keeping people happy, making sure people and families were good and fine.
Okay, great, thank you. We've had a few games now since restrictions eased, and I think it's safe to say we've had quite a successful pre-season. We know how the results went, but how do you think it's personally gone?
Yeah, look, we used 30 to 35 boys in every game, which is great really, and more importantly, we're comfortable in using all of those players as well, or being able to pick them, which probably hasn't been the case previously. So that's really good. And in fairness, the boys came back into training when we did come back in good shape and ready to go. Really, everyone was chomping at the bit to get back to rugby. Really, coaches included. So it was good. Yeah, but on the games themselves, look, it's pre-season friendlies at the end of the day. It doesn't really count for anything, but keeping winning momentum is always helpful. Getting W's on the board. But I don't think you can read too much into much of it. Different combinations every game. Probably no combination was the same in either game. So it was just more making sure that everyone was understanding what we're trying to get to, and giving boys game time in the legs really, because boys haven't played for 18 months, so that was the most important thing, is to get boys running around playing rugby again and enjoying it really.
Okay, like I said, first up was Bridgend away. I think it's something like 560 days since we last played them on the 7th of March. Are you going to prepare in the same way as you did before in the Premiership, or is there different things that you brought in?
There's a few different bits and pieces, but most weeks tend to be the same. Obviously training and things have changed a little bit. A couple of the reviews and previews have changed bits and pieces, but by and large the week is similar in terms of detail and what we're doing. Obviously having Josh on board, things are different for forwards in that sense, with line out and a few bits and pieces, but yeah, there's not too much there are differences, but not too many differences. I'm not going to delve into them too much, but
no, we wouldn't expect that. This year we've got the Indigo Cup, and then there's a league format. It's safe to say that you're going to be targeting both competitions as you did in 2019-20. But with the new faces that have come into the squad, they seem to have adapted well. How do you rate our chances in both competitions this year?
Oh, look, I'm not one for making predictions, and I don't really not goal setting as a sense. It's easy enough to goal set, but your goal set can go out the window in week one really. So try and take it week by week. Obviously we're going out every weekend to try and win a game, and that's what everyone's trying to do. If we prepare ourselves properly, boys turn up with the right mindset on the weekend, then we've got every opportunity to win every game. But there's 23 other boys on the other side of the field that are trying to do the same as well. So yeah, as long as we prepare properly, knowing full well after 90 minutes on a Saturday that we've done all we can, then wherever that leaves us, it leaves us.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Greg. We'll speak to you again as the season progresses, and we'll show the progress on the club's YouTube channel. Cheers.
Cheers.